Good morning, folks. Jay here on the 28th of November with your Leeds news. And in today's video, we are going to talk about Leeds club valuation, some outgoing news around Cody Drameh, some links from Gazzetta dello Sport for Leeds and Tyler Adams, incomings, some more players linked, Boulaye information about him as well as some details on the FA Cup draw. So we'll start and we'll get cracking into this straight away. And we'll just start off with an interesting one that the Yorkshire Evening Post published today. And what they've done is they've kind of put a listing together of the top, well, not the top, all the Premier League clubs and the valuations of all of the clubs. Leeds ranked 18th out of 20 with a valuation of £208 million. And the basic gist of this is all the money that goes into the club and all the sales and all the purchases, all that gets taken into account to give a current valuation. Leeds the second cheapest club in the Premier League so far, which is interesting considering the valuation is around 400 million to sell the club, but obviously there's, other stuff that's bought into that as well. But it'll be interesting to see come end of January what happens there. In outgoings and the long-running saga of Cody Drameh looks likely to be coming to a head. Leeds look set to let the player depart, and that is according to Graham Smith. He has 19 months left on his current deal, and it looks like the chances of agreeing a new one are all but dead. His agent has been saying that there's plenty of interest between Newcastle and Dortmund on the player. Leeds expect more interest in the player to come from Germany, from Holland, as well as coming from locally within the UK. He's only been at Leeds 2 years. He's come up from Fulham before that. But another report from Cod Offside claims that there was a contract extension on the table that has now been withdrawn. So either Leeds couldn't agree a contract extension with Cody, or Cody wasn't willing to agree a contract extension with Leeds. But it appears, according to Cod Offside, that contract has now been withdrawn, and Leeds look all but set to sell the player. He has looked very, very good for the under-20s and under-23s last year. For me, for a lot of people, he just hasn't done enough when he's gone into the first team. He hasn't looked great. Brentford this season was a bad game for everybody. But he hasn't. Again, Somerville struggled with this a little bit when he first came in. He just hasn't gone in and made that impact when he's come in. And on 21s and on 20 team against Crewe in the Papa John's Trophy this year, he looked really, really good in the team that was pretty poor on the night. So yeah, it's a strange one, but we've an abundance of right backs, and if Luke Aylin's going to stick around beyond the end of the season, someone has to move on. But yeah, strange one. Leeds never had an issue with right backs, always had an issue with left backs. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. In other news, the FA Cup draw has happened, and Leeds will be losing to Cardiff City away in the third round. I'm joking. Leeds will play Cardiff City away on the 7th of January in the third round of the FA Cup. It'd be nice to get to the fourth round for a change, wouldn't it? Nice to get a little small bit of an FA Cup run. I never really bothered with the League Cup, but I'd like to see us get a run in the FA Cup. Moving on to incomings then, and according to Tuto Salernitana, Boulaye, the Senegalese striker, has been linked again with Leeds, and Leeds have expressed their interest and made their interest in the player firm, according to Tuto Salernitana. Leeds were interested in the striker during the summer. Tuto Salernitana have said that there are 4 Premier League clubs that are interested in the striker. Leeds are one of them, along with Everton, Leicester, and West Ham. The same clubs that tend to be interested in all the players that Leeds are looking at. We're in that bracket with those clubs. Dia is on loan at Salernitana. He's not owned by Salernitana. He's on loan from Villarreal at the moment because he moved there after scoring 16 goals for Rennes. It didn't really work out particularly well for him at Villarreal, and they've loaned him out to Salernitana. He has got 6 goals in 14 games so far this season. He did score against Qatar for Senegal in the World Cup this week as well. Salernitana have a €12 million or £10.5 million buyout clause in the player. Basically, they can make them move permanent for £10 million or €12 million. They could make that deal permanent in January and then sell him immediately and make a profit straight away, or they could make the move permanent and just end all speculation in the player. He's had a reasonably good season in Serie A. His goals aren't huge. I'm not sure he's exactly the kind of player Leeds are looking for from a number 9, but he's looked okay in the World Cup so far, so you got to put that into consideration as well. And then, according to Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy, Inter Milan have increased their interest in Leeds central midfielder and USA captain Tyler Adams. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, Inter Milan are very impressed with the midfielder. He was already on their radar and somebody they were keeping an eye on, but have been incredibly impressed by his performances in the World Cup. Should also be impressed with how he handled that interview yesterday with the Iranian journalist yesterday, who basically put it to him about saying their country's name wrong. It happens. Pronunciation things, sometimes people get them wrong. But also, you know, did he mind playing for a country that had discrimination issues of its own? He handled it perfectly well. Very diplomatic, very level-headed. Could have shot back with some direct bullets, but he didn't. Sat back and said it the right way. But he really has carried himself really well in this World Cup. He's looked really, really strong. And as I said, Inter Milan are very, very impressed with him. They would like to make a move for him. However, he is under contract till 2027. Leeds only brought him in the summer, so chances of him leaving this season are probably slim to none. But it is out there, and it is floating around. Clubs have taken notice of Tyler Adams. It's interesting to see if all the people that had a problem with Leeds signing an American central midfielder to replace Calvin Phillips in the summer are still have a problem with him now, seeing how well he's playing. And that's pretty much it, folks, today. Short one, in and out. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that got involved in the live streams for the last week and a bit. It was really fun. I really enjoyed doing them. It was nice to get to know some people as well, and see the same faces every morning. So back to normal. If you like the video, if you like the channel, you can like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you back here tomorrow for some more Leeds news. See you then. Have a great day. Bye.